Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to stop by in between my clients just to talk to you a little bit about as we're rising in consciousness, we're starting to realize certain patterns and behaviors of ours that really no longer serves us. We've been wearing false masks and creating illusions for so long to appear a certain way, for people to see us in a different way. Working so hard to make everyone else happy or to just fit in that we forget ourselves in the process. And that's when we begin to be stuck, feel like, wow, I have it all, but I'm not happy. What was it all for if I'm not happy? And of course, a lot of this stems from deeper emotional stuff. Maybe as a child, we didn't feel accepted or acknowledged, or we were compared to others, siblings, or we were in a family dynamic where we had to appear or look a certain way to the outside world. So we continue that pattern of behavior into our life, growing up, moving forward. Or maybe we just felt we weren't good enough, and in order for us to feel good enough, we had to create this illusion of having it all together, having everything that we want and need, or think we want and need. Building it, bringing it together, but then sitting down one day and just saying, I'm still not happy. All the money in the world, all the material things in the world, the relationship that really looks good on the outside to the world, I'm still not happy. And that's when we start this shift. Well, for most people at this time right now, we're starting to really look at things in a different way. Our perception is different, and we're trying to understand what needs to change in our life. What do we need to do differently? Then we'll be presented with things from our past to take a look at. A lot of times those things won't feel good when they appear in our awareness, but they're necessary for us to look at so we can see where we were, what we did, how we did it to get to where we are. A lot of the things from our past we let define us moving forward. But then find out that it really isn't us. It really wasn't us. We look at our childhood because that's really where it stems from. What we lacked as a child, the love that wasn't there, the nurturing that wasn't there. And I have to tell you, the empathic people, they really go through a lot of trauma as children. And trauma doesn't have to be sexual abuse or physical abuse. It could just be being compared, being called stupid, not being good enough, being ignored, being abandoned. It could be any of that. That's all trauma. And it does affect us. As children, we repress. We don't know how to suppress. And we keep that buried deep inside of us throughout our life. And what will happen as we go through life? We'll get triggered from time to time by people, by situations, to bring back and bring up those emotions. We don't know that on a conscious level, that we're being triggered for that reason, but that's what those triggers are really representing. We're being triggered by people, situations, and things to unbury what we buried all this time, for us to be able to look at it so that we can heal it and release it. And as we continue this healing journey, we start to see things differently. Perception is different. We receive more clarity and understanding. We understand that all of that from the past wasn't even about us. From the family dynamic, it was our parents' own unhealed trauma being projected onto us. Not to say that it didn't affect us, because obviously it did. We just didn't know it. We weren't aware of it consciously. But we took it personally. And we let it define us as we went on in our lives, moving forward. And in some cases, the female who didn't connect with the father figure goes in search of that through her life and only ends up finding more detached and unavailable men, because we're detached from ourselves. And the same applies to men who maybe weren't connected to their mothers, and so they go through life attracting females that may have the same traits as their mother, and still looking for that acknowledgement, and to still look for that love and acceptance that we didn't get as children. So either way, whether you're male or female, and it could be reverse. It could be, the female that didn't get the mother attention, or the male that didn't get the father attention, right? All these things that we search for through our lives really do affect us and take a toll on us moving forward. And in this timeline that's being created, we have to take a look at all of this stuff. As uncomfortable as it may be, and how uncomfortable as it may feel, we do need to understand where everything came from. And that is why so many things are happening in our current lives. We're grieving that old self. We're being presented and challenged with old scenarios from our past, emotions that we've kept hidden for us to look at once again, so that we can take that, see it for what it is, change our perception of it, understand it, and then finally get to a place of releasing it, healing it, and beginning to create a new version from everything that we learned. So I just wanted to stop by and share that with you. I will talk to you soon.